She definitely needs to go to the gym, though. My goodness. An ounce of muscle and skinny girl. Pickles, what color are they naturally?
Green. Why would you need to color?
Why would you need to add dye?
Exactly.
It's like they're intentionally trying to poison us. Honestly, that's honestly where I'm at this point. Blue 1, red 3, red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, yellow 5, red 40, yellow 6, blue 1. Ken's Steakhouse, man. I don't know what Ken's doing in his freaking steakhouse, but he's just cooking up poisonous dressing because that's what he's doing. You don't need to be some, super educated, you got all the degrees hanging on your wall, right, nutritionist, to realize sodium hexametaphosphate is probably not something you should be consuming. You know what I mean? You might get a little bit of, I don't know, you might get a little bit of beak in there or an eye or something, I don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
Sounds like something you clean your kitchen floor with. Don't eat them and don't feed them to your children. Those two things, the top 5 worst ingredients in all of foods, right? And the fact that it's marketed towards kids, I think. Okay, so we're headed to the grocery store, right? But this time, it's gonna be very different, right? Because when we went last time, right, we did a nice little grocery haul, got a lot of high quality foods. But this time around, you know what we're doing? We're going shopping for poison. That's what we're doing. We're not buying it, obviously, but what we're going to do is we are going to showcase, we're going to point out my top 10 most poisonous foods in the grocery store. Foods that you want to avoid literally at all costs, right? And I don't know, did you ever think about this, right? Good question. You ever think about this?
Let's hear it.
Just how much your choices in the grocery store, right, affect your life.
Yeah, I mean,
not only on a daily basis, but like over an extended period of time into the future, right?
It's true.
Think about that. It affects you in the present, right, and the future. Dramatically.
Mm-hmm.
The choices you make in the grocery store, right?
It's true.
If you spend a little bit more now, right? We talked about this in the last grocery trip. If you spend a little bit more now for high quality foods, and you're greatly increasing your chances, right, that you're not going to have diseases and sicknesses later on in life if you're eating clean, right? And if you get those diseases and sicknesses, right, the cost of medical bills,
it's
astronomical.
It's an investment.
It absolutely is, right?
I always
but you think though, right? And I was thinking about this earlier today, just about the grocery store, right, and the choices you make and how they affect your life, like we're talking about. But you think it, like, choosing high quality, foods that give you fuel, right? It affects your mood. It affects how you feel every single day, right? And then there's also the factor we were just talking about, right? Regarding, health, especially your future health, right? You're eating clean, high quality foods now. You're saving yourself, most likely, again, think in terms of probability, right? Saving yourself potential health consequences, right, in the long run. And then there's also the appearance factor, right? We love the gym, we love to train.
Of course.
If you're training hard in the gym, it doesn't matter how hard you go in the gym if you're not getting the quality nutrition, right? You might as well not even bother. But it affects your appearance too. I mean, you can tell when you see people, right? Like, you can tell if somebody's into the gym and into taking care of their body, into their health, right? And so much of that, I tell you, so much of that originates right here in the grocery store, right? So, all right, we're gonna shop for poison. We're gonna do top 10 poisonous foods, right? And I think, you know what we're gonna do? I think we're gonna do it in order. We're gonna start with 10, and then we're gonna work our way up to 1, the most poisonous food. I gotta say, I had a hard time choosing the most poisonous foods. Like the top 3, top 4 could all be number 1. But there's a reason why I chose the one that I did for number 1. And Save a little suspense for when we get there, I guess, right? But
Yeah.
dude, how sick is that?
It's pretty
You
sweet.
turn off, you hit the kill, and steering wheel goes back into the normal position. When you start, seat goes back, and then when you start the car, seat moves forward, steering wheel comes down, you're in position.
So do you set it, or does it just know how much to adjust?
Yeah, I set it. The
Alright.
steering wheel set, yeah, where I want it, and then the seats also set
That's
where I want
awesome.
it. Yeah. Shout out to the Dodge brothers for making these powerful machines, right?
Mm-hmm.
But basically, so I have a list. We're gonna start at number 10. We're gonna go up to number 1, and what I was saying is that the way I structured the list, right, is there are specific foods, right, where it's the brand, the name of the food, and then what it is. So for example, cereal, a specific cereal, Kellogg's Rice Krispies cereal, right, is a specific type of cereal. And then we'll have the specific foods on the list, but there are also just general categories, right, because I experienced it this week when I was grocery shopping looking for something specific, and man, pretty much every single item I was taking off the shelf in this category. I was looking at the label, poison. It's crazy. So that's how the list is structured. There are specific foods on the list, and there are also categories. Obviously, when we get to a category, we'll have to go through a number of the items under that category and showcase, that nutrition facts label, that wonderful nutrition facts label, and go through those ingredients and point out all those toxic red flags. So, all right, let's do it. Let's go poison shopping. Ready?
I'm ready.
I'm still gonna take in my grocery bag, just in case anybody gives us any grief.
All right.
So I can say, hey, look, I am actually shopping here. What do they do? No, we're good.
We're good.
I thought that guy was coming behind. All right, poison shopping. Let's go. All right, so I think I gotta look at my list, but I think the first food on the list is gonna surprise you. All right, it's gonna surprise you. You're not gonna be expecting. Not gonna be expecting. And it's honestly a condiment, and it's one of my favorite condiments.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I'm not. No spoilers.
Boy, no spoilers. No spoilers at all. It's kind of busy. It wasn't this busy last time we were here.
Yeah. It's a little.
I think last time we came though, it was like 10 o'clock, wasn't it?
Yeah. We might have saw like 4 or 5 people. Honestly, there's like nobody around.
Yeah. All right. Coming up on it here. Coming up on it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. You know what it is
Ready.
yet?
Let's see what it is. I'm ready.
All right, so number 10. Number 10 on the poisonous foods list. Right here. Pickles. So here we go, right here. Look, see? Polysorbate, we're at 80, and there. The poison of all poison, yellow 5.
Those food dyes, man.
They say on here, look at this. They say, right, no artificial dyes. But then look, you look at the ingredients. Third ingredient, high fructose corn syrup, which is just as bad.
Yeah.
Take any of them, relish. Look at this, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, polysorbate 80, yellow 5. Oh, that's like the quadruple right there. Corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, polysorbate, and yellow 5. And no matter what you grab, it's all bad. Polysorbate 80. It only has one bad thing. I was looking for pickles, cucumbers, high fructose corn syrup, yellow 5. And you think, right? So, pickles, what color are they naturally?
Green. Why would you need to?
Why would you need to add dye?
Exactly.
It's like they're intentionally trying to poison us. Honestly, that's honestly where I'm at this point. So yeah, I don't think I was literally here in this aisle last week trying to find pickles that didn't have junk in them. Yeah, high fructose corn syrup, polysorbate 80. These still the same thing. No artificial dyes, and yep, they still got the polysorbate in there. And some of these, it's like, okay, so I'm gonna be honest here, right? Potassium metabisulfate. It doesn't even sound like something you should be consuming.
Yeah,
You know what I
weird.
mean? So like, even if you don't know what exactly it is, you can make an educated guess and look on here, it says potassium metabisulfate. If it sounds like a chemical cleaner, you know what I mean? Just stay away from it. Yeah, so there are no pickles. I can't show you an actual clean one, but the one that I got was actually one of my previous TikTok videos. I don't know if you watched it when I unpacked my grocery list. It was the last item. It was
I saw that, yeah.
Dave's, what was the name of it? The barbecue, the famous barbecue place. You see them, Famous Dave's. Famous Dave's. They make a really good pickle. I think even like, yeah, even the relish, man. Oh, so get this. Oh my goodness. High fructose corn syrup, potassium sorbate, sodium benzoate, polysorbate 80. Look at this. Yellow 5 and blue 1.
It's so
Again, look at this color. Why do you need to add blue food dye to relish?
weird.
Unbelievable, right? So, yeah, number 10, top 10 poisonous foods is the pickles. And as you can see, I mean, geez, how many did I just pick up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least probably 10, right?
Exactly.
All bad.
Sucks.
So you really got to be careful if you're a pickle fan like me. And I mean, see this one, I like them especially during cutting season, right? Because they either have 0 calories or 10 calories, you know, and it's something that you can have as like a addition to a meal. It adds so much flavor. I love it. But as we just pointed out, horrible. I don't know where number 9 is exactly. Find it. Oh, here we go. Number 9. Ready? So the first one was a category, right? We were saying the second one is also a category. It's number 9. Right here.
Syrup. Oh boy.
Now, thankfully, right, this time we have some good examples. So if you ever do want syrup, right, for your pancakes, and like the whole pancake is amazing. Pure maple syrup is what you want. Look at that. Remember we were talking about one ingredients foods before? What's that say?
Maple syrup.
Maple syrup.
One ingredient.
One ingredient. From the maple tree, right? Organic, amazing. This, one of my absolute favorites. Those are the good ones, right? We have, but then these, absolutely horrible. The human body is not meant to consume any of this. And you see what they're made of. And this is why. It's pretty much corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, but that's it. At least those are the main 2 ingredients. It says less than 2% of, right? Natural, artificial flavors, cellulose, gum, salt, caramel color, sodium benzoate, sorbic acid. And look at this last one. Sodium hexametaphosphate.
What the?
But the reason why I put this on the list, right, is because pretty much all it is corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, 2 highly processed added sweeteners that you want to avoid at all costs. I mean, all of these are poison. Like freaking Dolly Parton is poisoning people with her syrup. Look at this, corn syrup. Oh, this has added sugar too, even worse. Oh my goodness. 11 grams added sugar per 2 tablespoons. And it's the highly processed added sugar, which you want to avoid at all costs. Disgusting.
I saw
High fructose corn syrup, all the preservatives. I mean, this is so bad. Look at this one too.
Why is it red? Where is it?
Oh, it actually doesn't have the food dye, but it's all artificial processed junk. See, okay, look, at least, see what they did though? Vegetable juice for color. So this is still junk, but the fact that they use vegetable juice for color, right? Why aren't other companies doing that? Like the pickles we were just in. Why can't you? I mean, again, I don't even know why you need food dye for pickles to begin with, right? But if you want to play with the color, vegetable juice is the way to go. Usually that's always a good sign, though. If you see vegetable juice for color on the ingredient list, that's usually a good sign. But yeah, these are just horrendous. It's the same thing, though. High fructose corn syrup, the highly processed added sweeteners that you just do not want. The human body's not meant to consume them. Yeah, this has the hexametaphosphate. I'm honestly gonna have to Google that.
See what its purpose
And
is.
see what that is exactly. But yeah, it just goes to show though, you don't need to be some, super educated, you got all the degrees hanging on your wall, right, nutritionist, to realize sodium hexametaphosphate is probably not something you should be consuming. You know what I mean? But hey, thankfully, at least for syrup, number 9, we at least had a couple of good examples. Pure maple syrup is always the option. And honestly, during bulking season, it's, amazing with breakfast. You can't go wrong with it. So, this is also disgusting too. It falls into syrup. It's just pure corn syrup. Ugh. Stay away at all costs. Alright, so we're going to do, what are we at? We're at number 8. We're at number 8. Can you guess what it is? We're approaching. Can you guess what number 8 is?
Hot dogs?
You got it.
Wow, this is.
You got it. Number 8. Oh, man. I remember one of my friends showed me. I don't know if you ever seen it, because you're on TikTok all the time. You ever see the video? How hot dogs are made? The TikTok?
No.
Make sure you look that up. It is absolutely, it is repulsive and disgusting in every sense. Like, it's so bad. Oh, dude. Honestly, these could be higher on the list. This is just horrendous. I mean, anytime you see, right, look, mechanically separated chicken, mechanically separated turkey, pork, water, and then you got a whole bunch of the, oh my goodness, sodium phosphate, sodium alginate, sorbic acid, apocarotinol, corn syrup, potassium chloride, sodium ascorbate, and it has nitrates in it too. I mean, look at this. So, I mean, this is what do we have here? We have stuffed dogs, chili cheese. It's probably one of the absolute worst. But look at this. One link, right? 13 grams of fat, 580 milligrams of sodium, and only 7 grams of protein. Like that is exactly what you do not want. I mean, you just want to avoid these at all costs. They're horrible. Even ones like this, yeah, this still has the nitrates in it, the preservatives, but it's the low protein content, right? High fat content, high sodium. You literally want the exact opposite of that, if you can. You want low fat content, especially when it comes to meat, right? Like we were talking about ground beef, right? Like 93.7, absolute best. But the low protein content, the high fat, all the sodium, all the additives, it's all processed, super, loaded with preservatives. I mean, yeah, they're just, anyone you grab, they're all just terrible. And then, I don't know about you, but do you trust the mechanisms to separate your chicken and
No,
pork?
separated? No.
You might get a little bit of, I don't know, you might get a little bit of beak in there or an eye or something, I don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
Dude, look at this. Wait a minute.
Wait a second.
Yeah. Okay, so, wow, I didn't see these last time I was here. Okay, so we're going to rewind to number 10. Yeah, okay, so maybe refrigeration is the key for pickles. Because look at that, we got fresh cucumbers, water, distilled white vinegar, salt, spices, fresh garlic, fresh dill, calcium chloride, which is natural mineral salt. Yeah, turmeric and dill oil. Look at that. Cleveland Kitchen classic dill. These are good money. A1. Yeah, this too. Grillo's pickle chips. See? Now look at this, and we compare that if you want to compare that to what we were looking at before with the pickles. Look at this. Cucumbers, brine, which is water, distilled white vinegar, salt, garlic, dill, grape leaves. Beautiful. There you go. Wow. So yeah, I totally missed that when I was here earlier in the week, man. I went to another store to get pickles. Let's have a look at these. Yeah, see, I mean, even still, Applegate they have some good products, but even still, again, it's the fact that these ingredients aren't terrible. I mean, they are made with grass-fed beef, right? Organic vinegar, baking soda, garlic, paprika, spices, dehydrated onion, celery powder. The ingredients are actually pretty clean, right? So if you're gonna have a cheat, right? Maybe these aren't too bad if you want to have it, your Memorial Day, 4th of July grill, right? But still, the fact that the macros are just as lousy as they are, with the high fat, high sodium, low protein, it's not something you want to be eating on a regular basis. But any of these other ones, though, avoid at all costs. Poison. Miller Lite Pringles. Loaded with vegetable oil. Too much strawberry smooth. That's interesting though. Miller Lite Pringles. Honestly, been tempted to try one. Really would.
Just to see.
Just to try it. Just to taste it. That's it though. I'm not eating, on a regular basis. Okay. Number what? 7. Right? Alright, number 7. Alright, here we go. Right around the corner. Here it is. This is another category. Right here. This is how you make, your spinach, your kale, your arugula extraordinarily unhealthy, is by pouring any of this garbage on it. So, again, I really don't feel like pulling all these off the shelf. But you can pretty much just choose any, and it's horrible. Oh, dude. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Jeez. So first ingredient, soybean oil. Right? One of the worst vegetable oils out there. Probably the worst, to be honest. And then, look at that. 2 tablespoons. 12 grams of fat. And look at that. 0 grams of protein. So you're literally just pouring vegetable oil fat onto your salad. Just horrendous. And it's look, all the same thing. Soybean oil, first ingredient. Like Ken's Steakhouse, man, I don't know what Ken's doing in his freaking steakhouse, but he's just cooking up poisonous dressings. That's what he's doing. Soybean oil, first ingredient. They're just so bad. Picking on Ken's right now. Vegetable oil, soybean oil, canola oil. There's corn syrup in it too. Disgusting. Thousand Island, same thing. Soybean oil, first ingredient. 14 grams of fat. 14 grams of fat for 2 tablespoons. And if you know, like an actual tablespoon serving, I don't know if you've ever seen it before. I have a little measuring utensil that's, for tablespoons. It's very small. So like you can easily pour. I mean, most people that put dressing on their salads, right? You got to be pouring like at least 5-6 tablespoons minimum. I mean, do the math. 140 calories, it's all fat, times that by, 5, 6. French, same thing. Soybean oil, first ingredient. It's just one of those ingredients you want to avoid at all costs. Yeah, literally everyone, man. Everyone, soybean oil. How about Italian? Yeah. Still got the canola vegetable oil. It's the second ingredient after vinegar. I don't think there's a single maybe like, I mean, let's look at Kraft. Kraft is popular. It's got the, oh, this says polysorbate 60 in there. See, still though, loaded with the vegetable oils, soybean and canola. It's pretty much all that. That's all the same thing. The soybean and the canola oil is just what you, again, avoid it at all costs, categorically. I don't think there's, man, dude, I don't think there's any that are good. No matter what you choose, yeah. Soybean oil. Soybean oil is like the first ingredient on every single dressing. Yeah. How about a raspberry? Looks like the raspberry. Okay, so this has the added sugar. No good, but it still has the soybean oil as like the what, 1, 2, 3rd, 4th ingredient. It's just horrible. That's another tip too for those who don't know. You know, when you look at the ingredients list, right? So the way it's listed, so the first ingredient is what it's primarily composed of, right? So it goes in descending order, right? So this one is primarily water, but then still it has the junk in it, it has the soybean oil in it, it has a bunch of preservatives. But as you go down the list, on the ingredient list, right, when you get toward the end, that's what is in it the least, if that makes sense. It goes in descending order from most to least as far as composition. But yeah, dude, salad dressings are the worst. I mean, it's pretty much, again, I don't see a single one here that's actually good. I mean, let's look at like some of these, like the ones that they say are more gourmet. Yeah, I mean, even this still canola oil. It has okay, so at least it's cane sugar, right? We talked about that before, the difference between just sugar on the ingredient list and cane sugar. So this is obviously a lot more natural, but still, canola oil is not something you want. You just don't want it. You're just adding fat to what's something that's supposed to be healthy. Look at that. Oh my goodness. This is Italian. Dude, look at this. And I'm Italian, right? I'm Italian. I love Italian. Look at this. So canola oil is the first ingredient, right? 2 tablespoons, 190 calories, 21 grams of fat. So if you put 4 tablespoons of this on your freaking salad, 42 grams of fat.
And people don't measure this either.
No, that's the thing. You just take it, pour it on there, man.
Like, I'm not eating that much fat, and they don't know about all this.
It's just all the canola oils. I mean, look, you picked up like every one, man. Yeah, this is just, it's so bad. I don't think there's any here that are. How about this? Let's look at Skinny Girl. Let's look at Skinny Girl. So it says fat-free, sugar-free dressing. All right, so I mean, not. So I don't like sugar alcohols. It's only 1 gram. Water, maltodextrin, cider vinegar, sorbitol, salt, lemon juice, modified cornstarch, dried garlic, dried red bell pepper, dried onion, spices, xanthan gum. It still has the preservatives: potassium sorbate, sodium benzoate, calcium disodium EDTA. I'm not really a fan of it. I mean, if you had to choose, this is probably the best one that we looked at. You know, so if you want your salad dressing, maybe the Skinny Girl's doing something right, huh? She definitely needs to go to the gym, though. My goodness, an ounce of muscle in Skinny Girl. All right, well, that's it. Salad dressing, yeah, is just salad dressing is downright horrendous. Pretty much everyone, anyone you choose is horrible. But I guess, look, if we have to do a recommendation, Skinny Girl, not super terrible. Shout out to Skinny Girl for half-decent salad dressing. This is new. Cheerios protein. Still loaded with sugar. I mean, still loaded with the sugar and corn syrup. Yeah. The frosted lemon Cheerios sounds really good. I'm not gonna lie. Still though, it's all the sugar. They just dump it in there. Goodness. We'll come back to that. Spoiler alert. Right? We'll come back to that. So number 6. Okay, so this is number 6. Is our first food on the list, right? That is specific.
All right.
It's not a category.
Okay.
Did you ever eat these when you were a kid?
I know what you're
Did you
gonna
ever
point
eat
to.
these?
No, I actually never. I don't think I've ever had a Pop-Tart. Not a big fan.
These, and again, so this is something, I put this on the list, right? Because it's something that is targeted, you know, at least from a marketing perspective, towards kids, right? And no kid, no child should ever be consuming this. These are so unbelievably poisonous and toxic. You need to stay away from these at all costs. Like literally at all costs. There is no nutritional value to these whatsoever. They're awful in every respect. I mean, I can't even. There's nothing good I can say about Pop-Tarts.
And I'm gonna guess they don't taste
So-
good either. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I, as a kid, never even tried it.
Okay, dude, look at this. So 2 Pop-Tarts, 31 grams of sugar, 71 grams of carbs. Give this to your kid. There's no way your kid's gonna be able to focus in school, man. But then, and then the ingredients. So enriched flour, right? Highly processed. Always avoid that. Is the first ingredient. Enriched flour, corn syrup. Yeah, we know how bad that is. Artificial, highly processed sweetener. High fructose corn syrup. Yeah, one of the worst things you can consume. Dextrose, sugar, which are both practically the same thing. Soybean oil. And right there, the main ingredients, all the worst ingredients that you can have in any food. Enriched flour, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, sugar, and vegetable oil, which soybean oil is the worst one. I mean, this is, man, I don't know, maybe I might have to remake the list and put this up farther.
Yeah.
They are horrendous. Okay, now we're not done. The crazy thing is we're not done, right? So after all that, you go down, you have all the, all right, so we got sodium acid pyrophosphate in there. We got monocalcium phosphate. Oh, look, and then we finally got a little bit of fruit. We got dried pears, dried apples, strawberries way down on the list, but then, oh, look, blue 2, red 40 Lake, blue 1, blue 2, yellow 5, yellow 6. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different dyes. Insane.
Is that all?
Honestly, I don't know. I think we might have to on the fly readjust the list because we skipped. So this is actually going to move up to at least like number 2 or 3, maybe even number 1. I mean, these are just the worst of the worst. I just can't believe. I mean, you know, children, like no child should ever be eating this, like I said. And it appears to be pretty much, yeah. I wonder if it's the same thing for each one. Enriched flour, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, soybean oil, and palm oil. Sugar, dextrose. Yeah, so it seems like the recipe for Pop-Tarts is like the same across the board. You got the 5 worst ingredients on the list in every single flavor. All the Girl Scouts, man. Girl Scouts are poisonous with their Pop-Tarts. Yeah. So I guess they use the same base of those 5 poisonous ingredients for every single flavor. Man, these are just horrible. Oh, man. 29 grams added sugar. So you're just giving your kid sugar and then all the poison. It's in the ingredient list. Yeah, these are just, yeah, never. Like, this is the perfect example, right? of a food. People want to call it a food. But you should never consume this, ever. Like, this isn't even something like that you have on a cheat day. You should never, ever consume Pop-Tarts. The human body is not meant to process any of that garbage. Horrible. This isn't even so again, it's another category, right? But it's all of sugar food dye city over here. Pretty much anything you take, all this stuff. And the thing is, like, everybody knows, right? Everybody knows that candy is bad for you.
Yeah.
Right? So you think, okay, this is something generic, right? But the thing is, it's the specific ingredients that people don't realize that are just absolutely toxic that you want to avoid at all costs. I mean, and again, these are things that are marketed towards children, right? It's sick. Like, again, it's just pure sugar. The fact that it's okay. Now look, oh, well, they actually no food dyes. I guess they're getting ready for Mr. RFK Jr., right? They're preparing in advance, but it's still sugar, corn syrup. It's junk. It's all the highly processed added sugar that you just do not want. I mean, these are, oh man. Corn syrup, sugar, food dyes. Horrible. Mind your way, sir?
Sorry.
Alright, just don't buy any of that stuff. Horrible.
What stuff?
It's horrible. Skittles, Sweet Tarts.
Oh, yeah?
Man. Oh, dude, it's straight up poison.
Yeah, most of it is.
The fact that they marketed towards children, though, is the worst thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, not good.
It's just, yeah, it's so bad. We're going through all the ingredients and helping people out, you know, helping them choose better, right?
Yep.
What to avoid, and that's something you want to avoid at all costs. Man. Hey, have a great night.
Hey,
That's right. I don't need to go and pick up every candy. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But it's all the highly processed added sugars that you just don't want. And some, I mean, some might be like a little better than others. Okay, so at least this, right? Milk chocolate still has sugar, cocoa butter, milk fat, lectin, natural flavor. So at least it's a short ingredient list, right? If you're gonna have something as a little cheat snack, this isn't, you know, horrendous. Hershey's Kisses. Jeremy's chocolate's better though. Jeremy's chocolate. But yeah, this one again is pretty simple and straightforward. The candies, just no nutritional value, no purpose. Avoid them at all costs. If you want to have something, maybe a Hershey Kiss isn't too bad, I guess, right? Yeah, this is even better than the Hershey Kisses, to be honest. So, 90% cocoa dark chocolate, crafted in Switzerland. Okay. Ingredients: chocolate liqueur, cocoa butter, sugar, cocoa powder. 3 squares. Right, still high fat content, 17, but only 3 grams added sugar. When we did the full grocery shopping video, remember the Better Goods was a highlight? This is not terrible. Not terrible. So if you're gonna have a chocolate, I'm gonna recommend that. It's not too bad. Shout out to Better Goods. I think this is what? Number 4. This is the 3rd time we've been in this aisle. So I'm gonna choose, where is it? We're gonna choose it. It's a number of them, right? So right here, we're gonna call them the rainbow cereals. This is the category. Fruit Loops, Fruity Pebbles, Trix, and where are they? You know the last one. What is it? Where's Fruity Pebbles? So these, right, it's pretty much all the same thing again. It's just the sugar and the food dyes. You're seeing a common theme though. A lot of the ingredients, right? The poisonous ingredients are the same across the board, right? But again, the fact that these are targeted toward children, especially breakfast, first meal of the day, this is not something you should ever be consuming. Like, honestly, nobody should consume this, but especially the kids. Added sugar, food dyes, no, avoid it at all costs. So the rainbow cereals, yeah, number 4, fourth poisonous food on our top 10 list is a combination of the Fruit Loops, the Trix, Fruity Pebbles, and the Lucky Charms. Don't eat them and don't feed them to your children. Yeah, but so I was just looking at these because these are, I hadn't seen these before. But yeah, see, it still has the 11 grams added sugar, right? But at least it's cane sugar, okay? So much more natural, less processed. And right, so when we were looking at the, and this is a perfect example, we'll showcase the ingredient list, right? What I was saying, how it's in descending order. So you've seen on a lot of those, the salad dressings, right? Soybean oil was the first ingredient, and you've seen it, right? Because you had 14 to 20 grams of fat in 2 tablespoons. So you know that's primarily what it is composed of, is the soybean oil. So this is different, right? So this, now canola oil, again, still something you want to avoid, right? But it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the 6th ingredient on the list, right? So you know it's included, right? But it's minimal. And you can tell that's the case because you know that canola oil is fat, right? The oil is fat. But look at that. Only 2 grams of fat per cup. So not terrible. You know? You still really don't want canola oil, but something like this, and at least it has the asterisk by it too, so it is organic. And it's the 6th ingredient down. So it's not terrible. Like, I still wouldn't eat this every day, you know, but I love cereal, especially in bulking season, and so I might actually have to keep that in mind as an option. Blueberry clusters do sound good, but that's just a little tip, right, for when you're reading that ingredients list and nutrition label, and you see how they tie together, you know. Number 3 for the we're in the top 3, so number 3 on the list of the most poisonous foods. Again, this is a category, but it's this stuff, the baked goods. So yeah, as you can see, look at the bright blues and the reds. You know what that means, right? And then all these though, it's all of the bad ingredients, right, that are in this, that all just work together, I guess, synergistically to make this poison. And look at the list, man. Look, I can't even freaking, how long it's gonna take me to read this? I bet you all of the bad ingredients are in here. Sugar, soybean oil, corn syrup, all of the, we got sodium, aluminum phosphate, aluminum sulfate, polysorbate 60. And then we go way down there and we find all of blue 1, red 3, red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, yellow 5, red 40, yellow 6, blue 1. There's no nutritional benefit to any of this. And another simple tip too, and I think we mentioned this before, but when you have an ingredient list that is just ridiculously long, just forget it. Honestly, just forget it. Just put it back. Like, you don't even, most of the time, I can't think of anything right now where it would be the case you'd have something that has a super long ingredient list that's still good. I can't think of anything. Yeah, pretty much when you just see the long ingredient list, it's just an automatic. Just forget it. You know, just forget about it. So the muffins are just loaded with sugar. 23 grams of added sugar per muffin. 18 grams of fat. Again, when your ratio is that drastic, like, look, 5 grams of protein, 18 fat. When you're fat to carbs to protein ratio is that drastic, just forget about it. Baked goods, number 3. All the baked goods, pretty much the entire bakery is number 3. We're officially now, right? Top 2. We're almost there. We're almost to the tallest pedestal on the podium, right? Although I wouldn't look at it that way, because it's not something to be glorified. We have the most poisonous food in the store. Okay. Yeah, here we go. You know what it is, right?
Soda.
It could easily be number 1, but we got it at number 2. And I actually put on the list this in particular, right? Again, it's artificial. It's artificial to the absolute extreme. It's high fructose corn syrup, sugar, which are basically, processed added sugar and corn syrup, basically the same thing, and food dyes. And they mix that and put it in water, add some sodium benzoate, right? We're gonna add some calcium disodium EDTA. We're gonna add some, how about this? Sucrose acetate isobutyrate, right? Sounds like something you clean your kitchen floor with. And we put all that together to make this beautiful drink. Baja Blast. You ever have it?
No.
No? Yeah, don't ever. Don't even. Yeah, so once we get to like the top of the list, I mean, I highly recommend you just avoid all the foods on this list, right? But once you get to the top, especially, again, just don't ever consume this. Don't ever consume it. It's really that simple. Even the diet, right? Even the diet, it's still okay. So this is another red flag ingredient, right? Aspartame, horrible. Just stay away from it at all costs. Yeah, and this has all the preservatives. And this is something too. I never actually researched this, and I'm gonna have to. But look at this at the end. It says phenylketonurics contains phenylalanine.
Never heard of that.
So I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know the details on that, like what that actually is. So I'm gonna have to research. But see, this is what we were saying earlier. When it comes down to it, right? If that is in your food, you clearly know that is not something that is, an ingredient like whole grain oats, right? Or, or rice or something that, is obviously a natural food ingredient. Yeah, I'm gonna say you probably want to stay away from phenylketonurics. Oh man, but yeah, soda is just something that you should just never consume in general. And corn syrup, sugar, is all it is. And food dye. I pretty much drink water. By far is dominates what I drink on a daily basis. Water is number 1. I'm a huge fan of orange juice, right? Because the high vitamin C content. Obviously you want to lessen the orange juice during cutting season if you don't want to have too much sugar. But orange juice is a pretty solid staple in my diet. But that's water, orange juice, and almond milk are basically the 3 drinks that I consume. That's pretty much it, to be honest. If you want to count, like I said, I don't really count the protein shake, because it's protein that you're just mixing in water.
Exactly.
But Fairlife, if you do choose a milk, Fairlife is definitely the best because it has the high protein content, of course, and being lactose free too, right? So
Exactly.
It's easier on your digestive system.
Better for bulking, both quicker.
Oh, let's look at while we're here. So we're still on number 2. So I guess what this is the Walmart brand, right? Of
I
Mountain
guess
Dew
so.
is Mountain Lightning,
I think you're right.
and it's still just as horrendous.
Look at this. Less than 1% juice.
Carbon Noir, yep. High fructose corn syrup. Just drinking high fructose corn syrup and food dyes and all these preservatives. If you want to just destroy your kidneys, have a way at it, man. Yeah. Orange too. We're just choosing all the. They're all horrible, but I think the worst ones are the orange and the Mountain Dew.
You already know.
It's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. Corn syrup, sugar, food dye, across the board. Okay. Now, before we, what the heck is it? Okay. So do you have any guesses as to what the number one most poisonous food in the grocery store is? But it is these specifically, right? So
Oreos.
yeah, pretty much all, the Chips Ahoy, the Nutter Butter is horrible. They're pretty much all that. But these are just so heavily processed. There is nothing about these. There's nothing about these that is natural in any sense. Like they say, oh wow, always made with real cocoa. Like they probably add. I mean, who knows? They could be lying to you. Who knows? But they probably add like a little tablespoon of cocoa.
Exactly.
And then, because you look, what just dominates the list here? It's the flour. Enriched flour, it's horrible. Sugar. And then of course you got the soybean, the canola oil, high fructose corn syrup. So I think, like I said, we're gonna have to edit the list. I think it's Oreos and Pop-Tarts. Oreos and Pop-Tarts are it's a tie for the most poisonous food in the grocery store. Because, did you ever have Oreos? I'm sure you did.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
You can
Tons.
literally take, like, do you ever do it? It used to be popular. You could take the,
and then
take the
just
top off,
eat
take
the
the bottom
white.
off, and you can literally pick up the white icing.
Oh yeah, it doesn't move. Yeah. It's not
all
natural.
sticks together. No, it's like eating Play-Doh. Who knows? They might actually use Play-Doh to make Oreos. I don't know. But yeah, there you have it. There you have it, folks. Pop-Tarts and Oreos are tied for the most poisonous food in the grocery store. Honestly, after looking at the ingredients, I feel like the Pop-Tarts might take the cake as number one. Because I didn't realize, like we were saying, and I just cannot believe that they have basically the 5 worst ingredients are the first 5 ingredients on Pop-Tarts. That's crazy. I just can't get over that. And for that fact, I mean, I think Pop-Tarts is gonna have to take it. it's crazy. And the fact that they're marketed towards kids, right? Just those two things. The top 5 worst ingredients in all of foods, right? And the fact that it's marketed towards kids. I think Pop-Tarts. I think we're gonna have the Pop-Tarts is number 1 most poisonous food in the grocery store. And the fact that all the flavors are equally as bad.
Exactly. That was so weird.
Those wild berry and the even like the plain strawberry, which you might think is a little healthier. Nope, not the case. All right, and so Pop-Tarts, most poisonous food in the grocery store.
By surprise.
It was a pretty, yeah, I mean, I put everything together on the list, right? And like I said, I knew Pop-Tarts were extremely bad, but wow, I honestly, I'm blown away at just how bad they are. I really am. I really can't get over just how bad they are. Just horrendous. Again, it comes down to making those educated, informed decisions. When it comes to what you're putting in your body, right?
Exactly.
Like we talked about when we did the grocery haul. Health, performance, appearance, right? That's why we eat. And it's safe to say that none of those foods on the list today are going to help you in any way as it relates to health, performance, and appearance. It's going to be it's the total opposite. The top 10 poisonous foods list, right? It's sickness, what are you going to say? Maybe tiredness and ugliness.
Yeah, exactly. The complete 180.
It's true
opposite.
though.
Exactly.
It's
I agree.
true though, because if you consume on a regular basis all those foods that we just highlighted, right? I mean, you're definitely not going to be attractive and in shape. I'll tell you that much. You're
Exactly.
not going to be muscular. You'll probably be obese. I mean, most likely you'll probably be obese, sick, and unmotivated, right? Which is not what you want.
Exactly.
As I was saying, it makes it so difficult, right? Because we were just talking about how people just don't realize, like they just don't know. You buy, like we were talking about the tortillas, right? They don't realize all the poison that exists in the tortillas. But it's like that across the board, like for all foods. People just don't realize all the things that are absolutely horrible for them, And we're saying about, like, when you go over to, someone's house for dinner and they're trying to be nice and, to invite you over to eat, but then at the same time, I'm trying to take care of my health, right?
Exactly.
And my body and not poison myself.
Exactly. So I was there.
You gotta be so careful. It's like, how do you go about it?
Exactly.
I just don't go over to anybody's house for dinner.